Dark Discoveries is a podcast that dives into the darker corners of history, mystery, and the downright bizarre. We discuss real events that may include graphic details, adult themes, and strong language, not suitable for all ages. Listener discretion is strongly advised.
We're here to inform, entertain, and maybe make you laugh nervously in public, but never to glorify criminals or make light of victims. Our research is thorough, but hey, we're not perfect.
We don't claim to be historians, so if we get something slightly off, blame Jackie. All opinions are our own, and sometimes even those are questionable.
Hello and welcome back. I am one of your hosts, Jackie, and I am joined with
Jimbo.
And Dustin.
All right. Tonight we are diving into another Forget-Me-Not case. And actually, have you heard of Kyron Horman?
I have.
Mm-hmm.
Dustin
I live under a rock, so
Dustin
no.
about 4 minutes ago when he opened up his laptop, right?
Yes.
I try to find things that uplift me. I try not to find a whole lot of things that drag me down.
I understand that.
These things can drag you
Absolutely.
down.
Well, this whole world we live in can drag you down.
And that's why I
Yes.
don't have cable television to watch the news. So when the Red Army comes to take us, I'll have no idea unless somebody at work, and if it's like a Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, I'll have somebody at work that'll tell me. But other than that, I'm screwed.
Well, tonight we're going to dive into Kyron Horman, born Kyron Richard Horman, September 9th of 2002. He's an American boy who disappeared from Skyline Elementary School in Portland, Oregon on June 4th, 2010. He was attending his local science fair. Local and state police, along with the FBI, conducted an exhaustive search and launched a criminal investigation, but have not uncovered any significant information regarding his whereabouts. Hormon's disappearance sparked one of the largest criminal investigations in Oregon's history. As of 2025, his whereabouts are still unknown. So Kyron Richard Horman was born to Desiree Young and Kyron Horman, the engineer for Intel. The couple divorced 8 months into Desiree's pregnancy with Kyron, citing they couldn't get along. All right.
Irreconcilable.
That's the one.
Or I even
Yeah.
said it wrong.
It's amazing how Dustin comes through it.
I know. It's always the words that are like, 15
I know a lot of
letters
people has been divorced. And that's either he slept with somebody, well, it's always differences.
You did it to yourself. They couldn't get along. That's good. All right. So the two had been granted shared custody of Kyron until 2004, when Desiree was diagnosed with kidney failure that required extensive medical intervention. And Kyron Horman took over full custody at this point. Notwithstanding the fact that Young still remained a very active participant in Kyron's upbringing. In 2007, we're just going to go by their last names and make it a little bit easier. Well, no, sorry, I can't do that.
How about their first names?
How about their first names? We're going to go with Kyron.
And Horman went to Horman.
And Horman went to Horman. Yeah, let's make it as easy as possible. So Kane married Terry Moulton. She was originally a teacher from Roseburg, Oregon. Kane became romantically involved with her in 2001 when he and Young were in the midst of the divorce. They married in 2007 while visiting Hawaii, and in 2008, she gave birth to their daughter, Kira. Meanwhile, Kyron was a student at the Skyline Elementary School near Forest Park. On June 4th, Kyron was taken to Skyline Elementary by his stepmother, Terry, who then stayed with him while he attended a science fair. Terry Horman stated that she left the school around 8:45 a.m. and last remembered seeing Kyron walking down the hall to his class. Terry's statements to the police indicate, however, that after leaving the school at 8:45, she ran errands at 2 different Fred Meyer's grocery stores until about 10:10 a.m. Between then and 11:39 a.m., she stated that she was driving her daughter around town in an attempt to use the motion of the vehicle to soothe the toddler's earache. Terry said that she then went to a local gym and exercised, and about 12:40 by 1:21, she arrived home and posted photos of Kyron at the science fair on her Facebook page. Search efforts for Kyron were extensive and primarily focused on the 2-mile radius around the elementary school, which is and the Suave Island, approximately 6 miles away. Law enforcement did not disclose their reasons for searching that area, but they did include it in their major search and findings. On June 12th, around 300 trained rescuers were on the ground searching wooded areas near the school. The search for Kyron spanned 10 days, which is the largest in Oregon's history, and included over 1,300 searchers from Oregon, Washington, and California. The reward for information leading up to the discovery of Kyron was initially $25,000, but was later expanded to $50,000 in late July of 2010. In the midst of the search, Kyron was reportedly told by investigators that Terry had offered their landscaper, Rudolph Sanchez, a lot of money to kill her husband, which would be Kyron's father. Yes. Sanchez testified that in a deposition that Terry approached him to help kill her husband in January 2010, 5 months before Kyron's disappearance. In her own deposition, Terry denied the charge. Investigators convinced Sanchez to confront Terry while wearing an audio surveillance device, but they were unable to obtain any evidence that would make an arrest. June 28th, Kyron filed for divorce and obtained a restraining order against Terry. The divorce was granted, and Terry was eventually granted supervised visitation with her daughter. Could you imagine finding out that someone's put a hit out on you or attempted to? Your son is missing, and now you have to share custody with this person?
Well, just think about who was the guy with ghost hunters?
Yes.
His wife put out a hit on him.
Yes. It's scary how many people try this.
Right.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, who does this? Not a very sane person, not a person with a lot of morals, or a person that you're going to do this and still get granted custody.
Yeah.
Like, that would be one of those things. It's like, all right, we're going to take custody away, and you have to earn that back.
Well, think about it. Who was the guy out there? I want to say, was it around Seattle or Washington, where he was homeless and he got to take the little girls out there camping. He ended up killing the little girls.
I don't remember
just a couple months ago.
Oh,
did they ever catch him?
I think
he was on the
still
run,
looking for him.
Right.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
See, now you're breaking news to me because I don't watch the news.
Yeah, no, it took a minute, but yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. I think they're still on the hunt for him right now. Okay, so since Kyron's disappearance, the span of 3 weeks, not even, there has been this investigation, the allegations about the attempted hit and the restraining order and the custody battle has all happened. I mean, just imagine what this poor guy's going through. So during this time, Terry failed 2 separate polygraph examinations, which, in my personal opinion, a polygraph doesn't really tell much of anything. They are extremely easy to pass and extremely easy to fail, depending on your emotions.
Did we talk about this recently, the lie detector test?
Yes, you can pass them by clenching your butt cheeks.
Yes, I wanted to make sure that's something we talked about versus something I seen somewhere else.
And not only that, but they're not admissible in court anyway. So if somebody came to you, Dustin, and said, "Hey, we want you to take this lie detector test," are you going to take it?
No, I'm gonna lawyer up because and you're gonna look guilty no matter what.
Right.
If you do it and you're nervous
and you fail,
if you are looked at and
your
you
emotions
pass,
are so high when you deal with
you're
this
still
kind
going
of
to have
stuff.
some. Well, he passed it, but I'm going to lawyer up because it's going to make you look guilty. But that's going to be your best thing because people are crazy, and sometimes they just want to stick it to somebody to close the case. So I'm not going to be a scapegoat.
Absolutely. So during this time, she's failed these 2 separate polygraphs. And in August of 2010, it was announced that law enforcement were searching for an individual allegedly seen by 2 witnesses sitting inside Terry's truck outside of Skyline Elementary School the day of the disappearance. Bruce McCain, a former sheriff for I'm going to butcher this. Multnomah from the county. I'm going to say that. All right. The county sheriff's office.
Mesothelioma
That's
County.
the one. No, it's not.
Mylantha.
Oh, my Lanta. All right. The identity of the second person, if she or he exists, could be crucial in determining what happened to Kyron between the hours of 9 a.m. after June 4th. Meanwhile, July 2010, the grand jury subpoenaed several friends of Terry, including D.D. Spiker, who Young and Kane described as having been in close communication with Terry and providing Terry with support and advice that was not in the best interest of their son. According to law enforcement, Spiker was extremely cooperative and allowed a search of her property and her car, as well as enduring 3 hours of questioning, which, in a missing child's case, that's not much for questioning, in my opinion. I mean, yeah, go all day. On the day of Kyron's disappearance, Spiker was gardening for a homeowner on Germantown Road near Northwest Portland and was allegedly unaccounted for a 3-hour period. Though Spiker claimed that she never left the property, this also helped Terry purchase. She then also helped Terry purchase a untraceable cell phone after Kane moved out. During this time, Spiker told journalists, "There's this horror that my friend is going through. If I thought for a second she was capable of foul play, I would not have been there. She would not have been my friend in the first place." I'm sorry, but you're buying untraceable phones and you're giving advice that is not crucial to finding your child and more caring about what they're going to do that evening. I have a hard time.
Right. But can we go back to something you glossed over?
Yes.
And I don't know if you're kind of swing back around to it. Mm-hmm. But when she said that she took Kyron to his science fair.
Correct.
Okay. And she does take a picture of Kyron.
She does, yes.
But
it's the last picture taken of him.
And but she never sees him actually go into his classroom, correct?
He's just walking down the hall, is
Right.
what she claims. Mm-hmm.
And then she says that she is driving around her infant daughter
Yes.
to soothe an earache.
Correct.
Now, Jackie, you're a parent. Dustin's a parent. I'm a parent. Did you ever drive around for 90 minutes to get, because usually when
Not for an earache.
right, but usually, if they've been crying and they're whiny, and if she's trying to find this medicine, I know, but usually they pass out pretty quick once they tire down.
I will say this. My oldest daughter had colic for 2 years, and we once did a 7-hour road trip where she slept 30 minutes and screamed the rest of the way. She was completely fine. Sean and I had a hard night, but we were okay. So
Right.
everybody got through it. Yep.
And then going to 2 different Fred Meyers, and then you said she went to work out.
Yes. Yeah,
And-
it's just a lot of weird
With a
stuff.
kid with an earache.
With a-
that's-
yeah.
that's-
Or did they
Crying,
did
running a
they have
fever.
a nursery or
Yes,
I believe
it did
right?
have a daycare in their center.
Right.
Yes.
So my thing is, if I have a sick kid, I am
Don't
not
take 'em.
I'm not taking them.
No.
I'm not
A
pulling
good
them
pairing
off on
would-
Have
somebody
your
else.
mom or stay home for crying out loud.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many kids I've watched the parents dose with Tylenol
Right.
and drop off at a daycare. It makes me sick.
Right. So,
Yeah.
well, it's like today I was getting my haircut, right? And while I'm there getting my haircut, another stylist next to us, she's like, "Oh, I'm getting a call from the school." And so she runs out there and she gets the phone and she says, "Oh, it's my son's school. He's sick." Or he's saying he's sick. And she's like, "I told him to man up and go to second period." And she said, if it's really bad, then call me. And she said, "But he did say he felt sick when I sent him to school this morning."
yeah,
And
he's
I was like,
probably onto something there.
she's like, "But he's the one that's the schemer of the kids.
Yes,
so you
yes.
never know when you cry wolf." But there's just a lot of things that don't fall in line for this lady. It's not looking good.
Yes, and actually, I have her timeline here in a minute.
Oh,
We'll
even
go
better.
through. Yeah, so she's an interesting character. As far as the actual incident, we're going to skip ahead just a little bit to May 2017. It was reported by Portland station KGW that a secret grand jury panel continued to hear evidence on Kyron's disappearance. They even covened on multiple occasions. During the report, Kyron's case was described as still active and ongoing. 2 months later, in July of 2017, law enforcement conducted further searches along the Skyline Boulevard, but searches resulted in nothing. On June 1st of 2012, Young filed a civil lawsuit against Terry, claiming that she was responsible for the disappearance of Kyron. So this is actually Kyron's mother going after the stepmother. The lawsuit attempted to prove Terry had kidnapped Kyron on the day that he disappeared. Young sought $10 million in damages. On August 15th, 2012, the federal court judge denied a motion by Terry to delay the lawsuit. By July 30th of 2013, it was announced that Young had dropped this lawsuit against Terry so it would not interfere with the ongoing investigation. A lot of the reason why they believe she dropped this case, it was the same time as the Casey Anthony case came about. And if you know or have heard, a lot of times, no body, no crime. And it is extremely hard to prove a case when they cannot find a trace of what's going on. So it is speculated that this woman has something to do with his disappearance, and we will get into that in just a moment. But a strange thing is Terry appeared on Dr. Phil in 2016 trying to state her case. So she was advised from the beginning by law enforcement and her husband at the time by her attorneys, and in the beginning, not to say anything. I've always wanted to. I've asked multiple times to speak out, and I've not been allowed. She's been denied having any involvement in Kyron's disappearance. It's also stated that her belief in the kidnapping, there was a man in a white pickup Ford parked on Highway 30 at the 7-Eleven, which is not near the school, but he was acting very strangely. He was addressed by one of the employees because he had been pacing back and forth in front of the 7-Eleven for an hour. I completely believe that's fabricated. And I will say this, I watched that entire episode, and she does nothing to talk about him. She talks about her the entire
Sounds
time.
like some other stuff that we've talked about.
You know what she should have said? Cash me outside. How about that?
Yes.
It seems, and you know, you got a lawsuit going, and you go into it's definitely somebody looking for financial gain.
It reminds me of that Shannon lady you talked about.
Yeah, Shannon Hercut.
Hercut, right. Because they went on Dr. Phil, remember, and her dad was blindsided by
they
the
thought they were going to maybe reconcile, and it was straight just an ambush. But
Right.
I guess, you know, it's one of those, they had, some ideas, because there was some shady stuff in that case, but
Well,
it just seems like if it's a legit case, you're not going to Dr. Phil. Sorry.
Well, some very strange things continued on with Miss Terry. So she was allegedly accused of abducting her own daughter while carrying on an affair with her estranged husband's high school classmate. So this is the same year as Kyron's gone missing. As a matter of fact, it's just a few days before the divorce goes into. So she was having a ongoing affair with her husband's high school best friend during all of this, which is insane. So according to court documents filed on Monday by Kyron Horman, in an attempt to have his wife held in contempt for violating the restraining order, Terry Horman tried to abduct her 20-month-old daughter from the gym daycare June 28th, 2 days after the emergency restraining order had been granted, following a revelation from police that she tried to hire her family's landscaper to kidnap her husband. So just 2 days after this goes in, she's already trying to take the kid. And while the rest of the family was consumed by the desperate search for 7-year-old Kyron Horman, Terry Horman was carrying on an affair with 37-year-old Michael Cook, which is a former classmate of Kyron Horman's. The affair perpetrated The affair began. There we go. All right. Began 4 days after Kane moved out. She says it was 4 days. This Michael guy actually says that it had been going on for like weeks prior to this.
And let's do this right when you're in the midst of looking for your child. So like we're pulling you this way and this way and this way.
Exactly.
You know what we call that?
An emotional roller coaster is what it is.
We call that establishing an alibi is what you call that.
Yeah, that's
I was looking at some
exactly what she was doing.
I was looking at some of the times, and it's like
night.
it's 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there, 10 minutes. It's just enough to say, oh, I have a receipt from Starbucks. I have a receipt from here. You've seen me here.
Well, and I do believe when she ran into a lady at the Meijer, that it's somebody that the lady said, you know, we're not really chatty like that, but she made it a point to pull out my phone and show me a picture of him at his science fair.
Yeah.
Saying, look, he was just
Look,
here.
there he is. Yeah.
Like I said, just trying to.
So during this time, police were able to obtain hundreds of text messages, as well as several photographs of Terry and Michael in various stages of undress and graphic activities. The the court documents accused Terry Horman of sharing sensitive information with her new boyfriend about the police investigation into Kyron's disappearance. So she's not only sexting someone, she's now sharing really intimate personal details about a child's abduction. That's a massive red flag. What the hell is wrong with this Michael guy? Get the hell out of there, man. All right. So Horman's attorney, Stephen, sent a letter to the judge stating that she would not contest the restraining order that would keep her away from her daughter or her husband's request to move out of the Portland home. So she did do these things. The affair has potential to provide new leads to the boys' whereabouts and disappearance. The key, I think, in this case is a new strain of information, possibly through Mr. Cook, or things Mr. Cook could bring into the case. So then they immediately started questioning the new boyfriend because obviously she's sharing things that she shouldn't be. But that's not the end of Little Miss Terry here. She gets on a very strange kick. This comes from August 4th of 2014. A judge in Oregon denied the request from the stepmother of missing Portland boy Kyron Horman to legally change her name. Terry Horman filed a petition in Douglas County on June 30th to change her name to Claire Stella Sullivan. Doesn't that sound lovely?
Sounds like a Southern belle.
It does. All right.
You know about this lady. She's a psycho.
Yeah. So it says on court Monday, she received the death threats, faced difficulty finding work, and she wanted to start a new life without the stigma of Horman attached to it. The judge turned down her request, citing the ongoing investigation to Kyron's disappearance. So she's trying to change her name. She's trying to escape. Then this one is from, oh no, this isn't the right one. Yes, it is. Okay, this is from 2017. Terry Horman has been getting in trouble with the law lately, but still has not been named a suspect in the disappearance of Kyron Horman. It's been 6.5 years since Kyron went missing. His biological mother told News 10. She's at a pivotal point for an update in her son. Yeah, you get up every day because you have to. It doesn't get any easier, says Kyron's mom. But what's interesting is after the taping with Dr. Phil, police in California arrested Terry. Officers in Marysville said that she stole a gun from her roommate. She was booked in the Yuba County Jail on July 4th, 2016, posted bail, and then a couple days before Christmas, Terry was arrested for driving a stolen car in town just outside of San Francisco. She was booked into the Marion County Jail and soon posted bail. Everything that's been happening is just what we already know about her nature being true, that she's a criminal, says Desiree. I think she's a threat to the community, and I think she needs to be in prison, that she may end up hurting someone else. There is sufficient evidence that the car stolen charge has been dropped, but she still faces domestic abuse, stolen weapon charges in Yuba court. So Terry is quite the character. I would not want to be alone with her.
Yeah, that's not the kind of person that during this, obviously it's not her kid though, but during this investigation, you would think you would keep everything kind of on the straight and narrow to keep eyes off of yourself or to keep resources to focus on the case and not focus on your escapades.
Well, what's really interesting is the day Kyron went missing, investigators quickly zeroed in on the stepmother, Terry Horman, who seemed suspiciously cheery and upbeat for a missing child. Just to break down this case a little bit, this is the timeline disappearance of Kyron Horman. So Friday, June 4th, 2010 at 8 a.m., the Skyline Elementary opens the science fair. Terry Horman arrives shortly after. He, just so you guys can get this, he was doing a science fair project on tree frogs, and he absolutely loved it. The picture is adorable. Yeah. At 8:15, Skyline PTA president Gina Zimmerman sees Kyron with his stepmother, Terry, in front of his exhibit. At 8:45 a.m., Terry Horman leaves the school after watching Kyron walk towards his classroom, not into his classroom, towards his classroom. At 9 a.m., another student reports seeing Kyron near the south entrance of the school. At 10 a.m., class begins, and Kyron's homeroom teacher, Christina, reports him absent. So that's 10 a.m.
But where's the cameras at this school? Right?
You gotta remember, we're talking 2010, so that's still a little bit early for
we're almost
cameras. Like, at this point, you're lucky that if they're locking the doors when school starts and you're getting buzzed in.
Any pictures are going to be so grainy. It's nothing like what we got now.
A science fair going on, I'm sure
people were coming in, setting up their projects, going, because parents were coming in too. So it was chaotic that
morning. If you're going to do something, that's the kind of day to do it, because it's a little bit more chaos versus your normal just kids coming in when the doors are unlocked.
So at 1:21 p.m., Terry posts pictures of Kyron and his project on Facebook. At 3:30 p.m., Terry and Kyron's father, Kane Horman, go to meet the school bus and discover Kyron's been absent all day. Why wasn't the parents called? That bothers me right there. Maybe they were. Yeah, that's a whole nother point.
Or did they call the stepmom?
That's kind of where my thoughts were. All right, at 3:56 p.m., I'm so sorry. At 3:56 p.m., school secretary Susan Hall calls 911 to report Kyron missing. At 3:59 p.m., the Portland Police Bureau and the county sheriff.
Mesothelioma County.
It's I don't know how to say it, guys. I am so sorry, Portland.
You want to spell it for them so they know?
I totally will. It's MULTNOMAH. Good luck. All right.
taking a step out of my book.
All right. So at 4:33 p.m., the Portland Police Department and this county sheriff's department arrive at the Skyline Elementary School and at Kyron's home. So they arrive simultaneously. They begin checking the home, the school, and the surrounding area. At 5:30 p.m., a broadcast is sent to all the parents in Portland Public Schools. Kyron Horman did not arrive at home today. At 7 p.m., the search and rescue has been activated by Detective Sergeant Lee Gosson, alerts Sergeant Travels Goldsberg, and begin a formal missing persons case for Kyron. So that's at 7 p.m. 7:15, the public information officer returns calls from the media and estranged to meet people at school. At 8:09, the first search team arrives at the school. So this is 8 at night, the first search team has arrived. 8:15, Lieutenant Mary Lindstride arrives and begins emailing Kyron's photo to the local medias. 8:15, the public information officer meets with the school. 8:30, Sheriff Dan Stenton notifies the FBI. 8:25, the search and rescue coordinator begins. 9:48, Mountain Wave Search and Rescue Group arrives at the school.
And this is all the day he disappeared.
This is the day he's disappeared.
Going into the night.
So
Yes.
Here's the thing. The same day, she got a picture of him by his science fair stuff.
And she posted about 1:15,
So
I think.
let's get a search warrant. Well, it's probably too late now. Maybe they did. Get her phone and see what time that picture was taken. Because it sounds like it was taken before school started.
It was.
Well, they did. That's because they were in there setting up all their projects.
And teachers saw them setting it up.
And then got, his picture. And the science fair, you're not going to be in the gymnasium all day. So people seen him there. She disappears and he miraculously disappears. But then nobody says, well, we seen him, but he's not here at roll call. Well, they did. The one, he's not here at roll call.
Right, but the one student saw him
walking down to the south side.
Right.
Just seemed, granted, we're going back and beating a dead horse on some of this, but it just seems too perfect
convenient
that something was going to happen. So I just want to make sure the listeners are getting, because some people are going to be like me and they're going to be a little slow.
That's why we recap the timeline.
We get that he was there and then all of a sudden he's gone. And now it's like, all the way through the day now we're realizing he's gone.
It's like you just woke up halfway through this.
Well, I just want to make sure that everybody's, that they're grasping all these missed opportunities. And like you said, maybe the stepmom was called versus the mom. And
the mom, remember, she's no longer primary custody because she has she's going through extreme medical difficulties.
But you would think she would still be somewhere on an emergency contact
I'm sure she
list.
would, but they were primary and full custody.
So is his sister, is that his sister through Terry or is it through his mom?
Terry.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
So stepsister.
Yes, that is his half-sister.
Half-sister, sorry.
So at 10:40 p.m. that day, officers complete a search of the Skyline School and the Hormans' personal residence. At 10:44 p.m., a tipster calls 911 suggesting they check train tussles where these kids sometimes are playing. But on the day of his disappearance, Kyron was wearing a black T-shirt with CSI, how ironic is that, in green letters and a handprint graphic. He was also wearing black cargo pants, white socks, black Skechers, sneakers with orange trim. He may have had his glasses on at the time. There were several reports that his glasses were found. That is not true.
That's what I heard.
Yes. What it was is they actually found a pair of glasses that looked like his, and they posted them everywhere. So people, if they found them, if they saw them, they could report it. This was unfortunately misconstrued by the public and stated, oh, they found his glasses. No, his glasses have never actually been recovered. So at 5 a.m. the next morning, Saturday, June 5th, the Pacific Northwest Search and Rescue is called. Upon arrival, 60 to 70 people are already on the scene. So at 5 a.m., they are ready to rock. At 9:08, the Associated Press receives their first notification that Kyron is missing. At 12 p.m., a sheriff's spokesman states that the search is still a missing person case, not a criminal investigation. Around this time, Portland Public Schools alerts staff and parents who are at the school to attend debriefings on Sunday. 4 and 8 p.m., news conferences were held. FBI, National Guard has been joined by the efforts. Search crews complete the immediate grid search around the school. And this goes on. This is I said this once to Jimbo. This is the most insane and well-documented few hours of a missing case I have ever seen. And I've researched quite a bit of this kind of stuff in my day. So I've never seen anything like to the minute like this. Normally it's 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there. This goes on for almost 3 weeks. It's insane. But Sunday, June 6th, 8:58, Terry posts on Facebook ordering 1,000 missing persons picked flyers. At 9:48 a.m. on Sunday, parents and students are doing interviews with detectives. 12 p.m., Kyron's relatives distribute flyers. 3:30, the Portland Schools Superintendent Carol Smith is outlining steps and security concerns for ongoing things. 9 p.m., the sheriff department escalates Kyron's missing to endangered child, but does not label it as a kidnapping. So I am going to skip through quite a bit of this because it's just talking about FBI updating media, things like that. We've gotten through the most important stuff. But there is a few strange things. Like Friday, July 23rd, reports indicate that Dee Dee Spitzer, which, if you remember, is the friend that gave the alibi, she left her work site abruptly on June 4th and was unreachable for 3 hours, which she, at the time, had claimed she was there the entire time. So she immediately became a person of interest, which escalated to August 10th. The media obtained personal emails from Terry detailing the day Kyron disappeared. And then Thursday, October 21st, Kane files an objection to Terry's visitation request seeking a mental health evaluation. And on November 2nd, 2010, Terry withdraws her motion for parenting time with Kira. So this is a little bit later, but it's still nonetheless extremely important. They actually, in 2012, referred to Terry as the prime suspect in the case. According to the sheriff, officers' DNA from Kyron's family, his own toothbrush was submitted and actively searched against the National DNA database. Dental records and x-rays have also been uploaded into the National Missing and Identified Persons System for comparison to unidentified remains throughout the U.S. On September 17th, 2013, Desiree, which is Kyron's original mother, and Kane air out their differences on Dr. Phil. So the original father and mother also went on. And on December 31st, 2013, Kane and Terry's divorce is finalized. So she, in 2014, put up a petition to change her name. That was denied. She took on jobs as her maiden name until that drew public attention, and she was fired from the job.
When you're divorced, like, why is it such? Well, I get it. There's a missing child case going on, and having your name the same probably will help and not be as confusing. But because I could see you change the name, and then when they put it in there, if they don't put a note every time, it would be confusing. Is this a new person of interest? That person, but at least.
I will say this, if you are doing a background check and someone is going by their maiden name or their new name, it makes it much more difficult to find things that they've done in the past, which is actually how she obtained this position. She was working in a nursing home.
And if you're innocent, I can see wanting to distance your name so you can get on with life.
Yes.
Like, you're still mourning. It's still horrific because you lost your child. No matter if you're custody or not, if you have a sense of decency and compassion, you're going to be devastated. And then to apply somewhere, it's going to be brought up is that her, is this, and you can't move on with life. So if she is innocent, I would have took that as far as I could, which probably won't look good on her behalf, but you're trying to live life again.
Yeah. Thursday, May 25th of 2017, an age progression photo of Kyron at 14 is released to the public. Saturday, March 17th of 2018, Terry marries Jose de Jesus Varquez Martinez in Nevada.
Was that
so
the
she has a new last name.
I wonder if that's the same guy that...
It is not the groundskeeper, no.
Not the groundskeeper? Okay, just didn't know if she's trying to marry the guy that she was trying to have kill her husband.
Mm-hmm. On Tuesday, June 4th of 2019, on the 9th anniversary of his disappearance, Desiree announced that the search area has now been narrowed down to less than 100 acres. So they are still continuing to search that particular thing. And you've got to imagine 100 acres to go through. Oh, my Lanta.
That's still a lot.
And is that 100 acres? I seen where they think there's a forest area that's a place of interest. Is that 100 acres part forest, or is it, where
it's all forest.
Let's say it have to be something.
Every bit of it. And,
did they ever, is that still part of that island too that they were searching?
Yes, this is all included in that. Because you got to think he's been missing since, I think 2002. Okay. He was born in 2002. It was 2010. So for 9 years, they've been narrowing it down.
So when they say the island, is there water between?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It is a legit island. So I have a full breakdown on Terry, and she's just, I don't know. I just don't know. She's something else. I don't know if I want to go through it all and give her the accolades. I just don't know.
She's not a person that needs to be free.
That's just it.
Looking at everything that's happened.
She needs help.
Yes. Extremely.
Stealing a firearm, stealing a car, and then all this stuff, wanting to hire a hitman. There's
Going to the gym.
Yes.
There's 3 huge red flags from the time of the murder till now that this person probably shouldn't be roaming the streets.
And Kyron's teacher that day was originally told that he had a doctor's appointment.
Yes.
So no one questioned his absence when he was missing from class.
But did you see that the mom said it was for like the next Friday or something?
Correct. Yeah, that was a comeback later on, which is a little bit scary. But yeah, it was just
Red flag number 1.
Yeah.
5.
Well,
Yeah.
I think statistically, like through the course of this case, that should be like red flag number 1.
But it's
there's like 50 of them right now.
It's just very interesting that there is really no solid evidence that he's missing, like backpack, shoes, clothes, toothbrush, hair, anything that was with him at that school. There is nothing that showed. They didn't find anything on the school grounds. They haven't found anything at their house that was out of the normal that I remember seeing. But it is interesting that they lean toward going towards this island. Now, is that because of dogs? Do they have cadaver dogs going? Do you know?
I am not 100% sure on why they've narrowed part of this down. I do have a little bit more about that day. Terry said that she drove around town that day, stopping at 2 grocery stores to get medicine for her infant daughter who wasn't feeling well. She said that she then spent that time driving around trying to settle her down. Police investigations found that Terry's phone pinged around Highway 30, an area known in Oregon as a road less traveled, which that could be why they searched the area that they were in. Rebecca Morris, who wrote The Boy Missing, The Search for Kyron Horman, about Kyron's case, noted that there was a significant amount of time between when Kyron reportedly went missing and when his disappearance was reported to the police, which, as we noticed, it's almost a 12-hour gap at that point. He was missing for 6 hours before they knew he was missing. And 6 hours is a long time for a 7-year-old child.
Yeah.
Yes. After 13 years, no suspects or persons of interest in the case have names or have been named or have changed. But there are many twists and turns in this investigation from beginning to end. It's just a devastating case. And as a parent, I don't know how you could go through this, and first of all, anyone who would take a child like that, and secondly, this woman clearly has some instabilities. Whether she has done it or not, she is a prime suspect. She is the last person to see him, the last person to have photographed him. Her timeline doesn't add up. Her friend's timeline doesn't add up. Her phone's pinging in places she's never been. It's just an insanely horrifying case. And it's one of those that if you have any information, please, 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 we would love to give this family closure. We would love to find him. We would love to bring him home. You can actually report any information by contacting the MULTNOMAH County Sheriff's Office at 503-988-0560, or your local FBI office or the nearest American embassy or consulate. You can also submit tips anonymously at tips.fbi.gov. I'm not saying that I fully believe that they're going to be anonymous, but the FBI says that they are. So, missing June 4th, 2010, Portland, Oregon. Date of birth, September 9th, 2010. Hair brown. Height at the time of disappearance was 3'8". Sex male. Scars and marks. Kyron has a distinct V-shaped strawberry birthmark on his forehead. His place of birth is Oregon. eyes blue. Weight at the time of disappearance was 50 pounds. Race is white. We will be putting his picture up, and you can see the age progression. The latest age progression photo was done in 2022, and it shows him of an age range between 19 and 20. Kyron was last seen wearing a black t-shirt with the letters CSI, a green handprint graphic on it, black cargo pants, white socks, black Skechers sneakers with orange trim. He wears metal frame glasses. Kyron Horman has been missing from Skyline Elementary in Portland, Oregon since June 4th, 2010. He was last seen that morning attending his local science fair. Please, any information, bring Kyron home.
And remember, if you see something,
Say something.
In the shadows where whispers dwell, voices silent, in darkness they fell. Missing yet not forgotten, their dreams like stars. See something, say it clear, together we'll bring them near. Every story and face, a piece of love remains. Hold them close, join the light we've gained. Their spirit lives on, we've got them caught in. Together we'll shine, never let them go. Through the night, their memories guide. A gentle touch, a whispered goodbye. Every tear, every smile, a part of us stays. In the light we find what we made. Every whisper, every sigh, in our hearts they'll always lie. Their presence felt, their love we see. In the shadows we're free. Every story and face, a piece of love remains. Hold them close, join the light we've gained. Their spirit lives on, we've got them caught in. Together we'll shine, never let them go. Never